Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 19. I'm Andy, and this is Let's Play on This is IreLand map. This is IreLand again. So, I made some changes. Firstly, we're going to buy this Russian old school wheel loader. I thought we'd buy it because it's kind of cheap, so we'll buy that. Where's the wheel loader there? Okay, I don't know why. I thought there was like a... Maybe it's on the miscellaneous. I think there's supposed to be a bucket somewhere with this one. What's that called? It's called Amkodor. Oh, I thought it was a bucket with it. Oh well, guess not. So we'll go with a pallet fork, I think. And a high dump bucket. That sounds weird. I get this loaded up. Okay, so it doesn't use those. Okay. What could it use then? Maybe that's why. No, it's not on the telehandlers. Loaders. Okay, so I'm not really sure what. It looks kind of cool, but I wonder what sort of telehandler. Okay, so it was the telehandler implement. Okay, that's good to know. So my idea is that I think I'm going to use this to bring old bales off the field. And for other stuff too, of course. I tried using the front loader. I did quite a lot of changes since last episode. I have exchanged our tractor because the sun track was, well, it didn't work out at all. It was so complicated, and I kept, you noticed that on the last episode, I kept having issues with it, and the issues didn't go away, we just got worse. So I eventually decided to just not use it. I thought that would be simplest. So I sold it. I got a John Deere, but I didn't get a telehandler or anything like that. But I'm thinking we're going to use this as a telehandler. Don't know if you would actually use this because it probably destroyed land, since it's kind of a heavy tool. I think we got across there. They're kind of cool. Cool. But the main reason for getting this was because it was kind of cheap, so it wouldn't cost very much. So we're trying to experiment with ways to get the bales off the field. I think this is one way. Another way would be to use the stuff I have on the tractor now. I'm going to show you it, but I wasn't very content with it. I didn't think it worked out that well. I'm going to go down to the tractor, which is down here. So I got the windrower hooked up to the Ford tractor. So here on this John Deere I have a sort of bale loader thing, transporter hooked up here on the back, which works okay actually. This is the link to this in the description is in the description. Link to this is also in the description as always. So the thing I'd done was I basically use this. It's not entirely simple, but I guess when you know what to do, it probably go pretty fast. Let's back up with one of those. You do the other one here. You simply do the same thing here. Back it up. There's an in-game one of these, but that doesn't work as well, I find. This one is kind of cool because you can actually attach them so they stay there, which is definitely something you need. I have one over here. So my idea was to use this, and you would get 3 of these. You transport 3 bales. And get them on here. It's kind of hard to see. So, oh, not get out. So this way you could bring 3 of these off the field pretty easily. This is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is using that wheel loader we just bought, which I haven't tried out yet as I just bought it, but I think that could be cool too. The thing is, I need to stack them somehow, and that's sort of an issue. Trying to stack them in a nice way. I need to keep track of them too. I want to know which one is the first cut and second cut and so on, so know which way to use them later during the year. Oh dear. Managed to hit the turn off button. So I'm stacking them over here in this barn. So let's see if I can get this. There is no issue using these. Okay, that didn't turn out too well, did it? So I think the problem is not transporting them off the field. The problem is that what happens now afterwards. This is the thing I find most troublesome. Trying to stack them. Which is sort of hard when you have this kind of bale grab. It's easier because it kind of comes loose quite easily, but it's harder because you have to stack them. You can't stack them too close together because then you can't open the bale grab. And that's a bit of an issue. So you need to stack them pretty okay. This is not the best stack, thinking. Then it could just push them, which isn't why I usually do. This is sort of troublesome because usually it's not the best of stacks and quite easy to. Oh. Okay, got them in there. So this is one way I'm thinking of doing my getting the bales off the field. The way I'm thinking about doing is using this, because this actually can hold quite a few bales. And I'm thinking we could actually set this up. So probably get this onto there, thinking. If we stack these two here. Stack the other one on top of there. Because then we could also bring 3 in. I'm not sure this is the best way. Stack on top of there. So we got 3 there. but I'm not sure this is the best way either. Because they can come loose, right? So, and it's kind of heavy on the ground, so maybe that's not good for compaction. That way, I didn't stack it very well, did I? That's better. Okay. I can grab 3 of these pretty easily, which is good, but they don't stay there, so I have to drive quite careful. I did a lot of experiments yesterday when playing this map with the horses, because as Evan pointed out on an earlier episode in the comments, thank you Evan, by the way, it has to do with seasons. So in seasons mod, the horses don't work the way they usually do, so you don't buy them, you actually take care of them for them, and if the way you train them, you get money for it. But I think it's sort of bugged, because I'm going to show you. It's easy to show you. So if I go in here and look at our horses, as soon as it saves, I don't know why it takes so long to save when you're recording. Must have something to do, remember. Anyway, so if you go down to the horses here and look at Pikachu, which is my daughter's horse, I could just send it around working out forever, and I got like 159,000. No, be it that this is taking like 5 hours or so to get, but I'm thinking that's not the way it should be. It's kind of weird if you can get 159,000 euros for training a horse one day. I don't know if they get more money the more you train them every day. So if you train them every day, you get more and more money. I'm a little unsure about that, but I did some experiments yesterday, and I thought that different horses got different money when you train them, and the way you train them, and i.e. how fast they were running. But it doesn't seem to be that way. First it seemed like it would be that way, but when I took a great fine look at it, I couldn't just sort of find that. So maybe I should have this wheel loader set up at the farm rather than use the other one to bring it in, because the 3 bales at the same time, we can still get 3 bales on this one, so it's not the same amount, but it's a bit wobbly to transport. The other ones, they actually stuck to the tractor, so well, like that. So I'm thinking I'll probably put the wheel loader here, and then I'll put it here. This is an old tractor, old wheel loader, but it does work nicely, doesn't it? If you wonder why that is there, my kids were helping me out playing. I put up a video yesterday in real life, which was a few weeks ago when you're watching this, but they were helping me out with the horses, and they were playing around with the tractors, so I found like tractors everywhere. Okay, so not the fastest, reload it around, but it does do the job, and it looks kind of nice. I like it. Take this back out to the field, and we'll use this to transport the bales in, and then we'll use the wheel loader to put them in the shed. I think that's a good plan. And we can use the wheel loader later for, if we put some forks on it and that sort of stuff, we can use it for transporting those too, or lifting those. It seems like it has to, on warm days like the days I had in the game here, it actually, I don't need to tether. I did try to tether the grass and nothing happened, but or rather I tethered a bit of it, and that's the same as the rest of the field, so I don't think the tethering did anything in seasons, or I can't find what it did on this field anyway. But I had to wait, so partially that's why I have different parts of the field actually windrowed and other parts not windrowed, because this grass was still too wet to make it turn into hay. Well, it wasn't hay, so I had to do all the other stuff you need to do with bales and stuff in the meanwhile, as I waited for this. So we'll grab this. So we'll take this off the field. I think this is the only bale that's left. Yeah, so then we're gonna do our windrowing without Ford, so then we can do the baling. So we're gonna leave this one back at the farm. I have a bit of a cold, and if you can tell, I spent the last few days at home with my son, who had a cold too and a fever. So today is the first day I'm off to work again in a few days. I would rather stay at home because I still, even though my son is better, I'm not better. But it costs too much money to stay home from work. We have something called Kansdag, which is basically the first day you're home sick, you don't get paid anything. And to most people in the States and everywhere, that's like, oh, okay. But we have a really good social insurance system where if you're sick, you get paid 80% of your salary from day 2. Then it changes during time, but at least day 2 it's like that. But see, I'll just put this here. Get this out of here. Yeah, good. So we'll just leave this one here, maybe. Which is really nice, but you don't get paid the first day, and I lose about 1,000 kroners that way, more like 1,100 kroners or so, which is a lot of money to us. So I can't really stay home. If you stay home with the kids, you get something called you have something called VAB, which just means translates into taking care of kids, or taking care of ill kids. So you get 80% of 80% of is it 80 of 80, or maybe it's 80. Well, I think it's 80 or 80 of 80. So you don't lose that much staying home with your kids if they're ill. So I got that. I also had some time I worked at my job, which I haven't I could use. I have something called flex time. So if I have to do my work, it can't be too much minus or plus, but I'm usually plus, so that's not an issue. So I can use that whenever I want to or need to. Oh, that's hooked up. So well, we're not going to use that now. We're going to use this one. We'll window this field and the next field. This looks weird on this tractor, but I think it should be, well, power-wise, I think it actually works. I think it works. And then you just go do about this. Get windrows. Oh, so anyway, this is grass, and then apparently when it's warm enough, it turns into hay by itself. Well, by itself, it did turn into hay. I tried tethering this area here, but there's no difference in time between this one and that one over there, which are also grass. So I don't know how that works actually, but it did seem to work that way. This up, I want to have this entire area, also this bit over here. It does, I think it disappears after a while if you don't harvest it. But we might as well get it since we're here. So the Suntrack didn't really work out. Syntrack, not Suntrack, Syntrack. It has a lot of issues. One thing was cool was that you could lower and raise the low back hitch there, which was good, but it kept messing up things. Also, when you unhooked the wrong stuff, you couldn't get it back. You had to reset the whole vehicle, which was a pain. So even though there was some pretty cool stuff on it, for instance the camera that showed where the fork was, it just didn't work out. I got so pissed using it, so I eventually gave it up. But it's a pretty cool thing, and if it worked, I would really I liked it. I did like it, but it didn't work that well. So I'm gonna stop recording now because I need to go and wake up my kids for school, and we'll see what we'll do for the next recording. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been the IreLand. This is IreLand map. Farming Simulator 19. I'm Andy. I have a bit of a cold. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, leave a comment or share. And thank you for all the feedback, by the way. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.